Before there were maps, before there were names for oceans or mountains, there were monsters. They roared and writhed in the chaos of a newborn earth. Not as villains, but as sculptors. Their claws carved valleys, their tails whipped seas into shape, and their breaths forged storms that birthed life. Over millennia, their bodies turned to stone, their souls to legend. And from their remains, humans built stories, myths that still breathe through firelight and drumbeats. But what if those stories weren't just imagination? What if the monsters never really left? High in the Andes, the Quechua people tell of Amaru, the double-headed serpent that sleeps beneath the mountains. When it stirs, the earth trembles, rivers shift, and volcanoes awaken. Scientists say these are tectonic plates, collisions of rock, deep below. But the locals say it's Amaru rolling in its slumber, angry that humanity has forgotten the old songs that kept it calm. An elder once led a team of explorers to a hidden cave carved with scales and spirals older than any known civilization. "Look," she said, "Amaru's veins still pulse." And there it was, a faint warmth, a trembling hum deep in the stone. Maybe fault lines are more than geology. Maybe they're the heartbeat of something ancient, still dreaming. Across the vast plains of North America, the Lakota people tell of Unktehi, the horned water monster who battled the thunderbirds for control of the sky and sea. When the thunder roars, it's said the war still rages. To the scientists, the great ridges and craters scattered across the land are remnants of ancient meteor strikes. But to the Lakota, they are the scars left by Unktehi's fall, where the monster's massive body struck the earth, shaping valleys and lakes. In one such crater, explorers found fossils twisted in impossible shapes, creatures no one could classify. One elder smiled softly when shown the pictures. "Unktehi remembers," she said. And that night, lightning split the sky exactly above the crater, as if answering her words. Far to the north, in the icy waters of the Arctic, the Inuit tell of Sedna, the goddess of the sea. They say her fingers became the whales, seals, and fish when her father cast her into the waves. Her body sank to the ocean floor, and from her hair the tides were born. When hunters forget to offer thanks, Sedna tangles their nets in rage. Marine biologists studying seismic patterns off Baffin Bay discovered rhythmic pulses, deep vibrations that resonated like a heartbeat. They called it the Arctic anomaly. The Inuit called it Sedna's grief. One winter the vibrations stopped. The same week, hundreds of whales stranded themselves along the coast. Coincidence, perhaps? Or maybe Sedna had turned her face away. In Ireland they whisper of Fionn McComhow, the giant who built the Giant's Causeway. They say he hurled rocks across the sea to reach Scotland, but when his rival appeared, Fionn disguised himself as a baby. Seeing the enormous child, the rival fled in terror, tearing up the path as he ran. Geologists say the hexagonal stones are cooled lava columns, millions of years old, but the basalt sings when struck, a ringing tone, like echoing footsteps. Local folklore claims that if you walk the causeway at twilight, you'll hear the giant's low murmurs beneath your feet, still arguing, still laughing, still alive in stone. In the Australian outback, Aboriginal lore speaks of Muljawank, a fiery serpent that fell from the stars and burrowed into the red earth. Where it slept, the desert glowed with color, ochres, golds, and reds that seemed to shimmer even in shadow. Astronomers now know that a massive meteor struck near Lake Acraman millions of years ago, creating the strange mineral richness of the land. But Aboriginal elders say the serpent still stirs. They point to shimmering mirages, not tricks of heat, but the creature's breath. The desert, they say, is alive because the monster within dreams in flame. We call them myths, but maybe myths are just memories too old to prove. Perhaps every mountain, every ocean trench, Every storm and fault line is a monument to a being that once lived, breathed, and shaped the world. The monsters of legend, serpent, giant, horned beast, sea goddess, were not destroyers but creators. Their power terrified humanity, yet also gave us identity, ritual, and reverence for nature's force. And when we tell their stories today, around fires, in books, in whispers, we awaken them a little. Because maybe they're still listening, waiting, dreaming beneath the crust of the earth they made. The earth remembers its monsters. You can see their faces in the mountains, feel their breath in the wind, and hear their stories in the thunder. The question is, what happens when they wake again?